Hi, Dr. Donna D.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So, unfortunately, we actually want to discuss a situation that occurred this last Friday, a very tragic incident. A young man by the name of Elliott Rodger basically went on a shooting rampage. They are now calling him, some places are calling him the Virgin Killer.
Yes.
And he basically set out to kill people and seek his retribution against humanity. And according to his claim, was because he had never received love from a woman, specifically sex. He let us know that he was still a virgin at 22 years old and hadn't even kissed a girl. There's a lot of factors here going on, you know. We would like to just understand your perspective on this situation, that for all those people who are trying to make sense out of it right now.
I don't even know how you make sense out of something like this. It's very difficult. My heart goes out to the families of the victims and to his family as well. Obviously, this is a case of mental illness. There's no question about it. Do I know the specifics to the case? I do not. But from reading the reports and listening to his the last message he sent out, it's pretty apparent that we're looking at a sociopath, a schizophrenic, if you will, as well, and who knows what else. It's a very sad thing, because the parents did call into the police and told the police that their son they were fearful that their son was going to hurt somebody. In this case, it turned out to be many people. And what do you do in a case like that? You know, the bigger issue here, and we see this with a lot of mass killings, we see this with a lot of the college shootings, when you know that there's something wrong with your son or your daughter, and you tell the authorities, and then it's investigated and they can't do anything about it, it's sad, because what do? We have to wait. Unfortunately, the system is set up that we wait until something goes wrong and we say, I told you. So this is a very, very sad thing, that it's not the first time that this has happened. Unfortunately, I hate to say it may not be the last time that a situation like this happens. I would hope that by the authorities seeing this case, that the next time parents come to them and say, I think my child is going to hurt somebody, there's a little bit more investigation than just interviewing that person. Maybe his roommates, perhaps. He was sharing a room with two other people, which he in fact stabbed. It would have been very interesting had they gone in and interviewed them. And from what I hear, his two roommates had planned to leave that room because they weren't happy sharing it with him. So their input, I think, would have been very helpful in trying to figure out what was really going on. So I think this could be a lesson that we can learn from, that maybe we have to take a few more steps in investigating allegations like this when it presents itself.
Especially if even the suspect's own parents. Like, that takes a lot for someone's parents to say, hey, I think my son or my daughter has committed a crime or is thinking about committing a crime. So for even a parent to come to that point, we all know a lot of parents are in denial about their children. Like, there must have been some serious issues that they felt needed to be addressed.
Obviously, their son had been giving them cause for concern way before this, or these parents would not have come forward. And they did. So if anything is a consolation to them, the fact that they identified it, they were willing to go forward with it. There was just not enough that they could do. And it's just so very sad. It really is sad.
Now, I want to talk about the fact that in my personal opinion, it might not just be my opinion, I believe there is quite a large group consensus out there that, you know, our society, our culture, our media, our entertainment industry is heavily focused on a lot of violence, as well as being overly sexualized. There's, you know, free internet porn everywhere. There was a lot of people who said that this guy, Elliott, was a internet troll. He would troll on comment threads and make vulgar comments and statements, talk about how much he hated women, you know, and when I look at this, I see a person who, you know, he claimed he was lonely. He had this huge desire for sex. He mentioned that a couple of times in that video. I believe that, in my honest opinion, the accessibility to internet porn, I believe he himself might have had an issue with it. Then you take that and take the same guys who are in front of their computers all day and they're running around playing games like Grand Theft Auto, where they can shoot and stab whoever they want, they can rape prostitutes, they can pick up drugs. So we're literally have created this environment, this virtual environment around all of our children that is surrounded with violence and drugs and sexual promiscuity. Do you believe that this was in fact a contributing factor, or do you think that this could have had something to do with it, especially with his mental illness?
It certainly could have something to do with it, but what these games and these TV shows and things, what these things are doing with our youth is that we are desensitizing them against violence. You know, when you go and play that zombie game, and you know, you're killing zombies, and you know, it's your shooting and your killing becomes like, oh, it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. I think that our society really needs to take a look at what we're doing. That being said, I do have to say that there are many people that are looking at internet porn, yet they're not going out and killing anybody. There's many people that are playing these video games, and they're not going out and doing a mass murder. So, you know, we have to look at it as, it's sad to say that this is our form of entertainment today, is, you know, going out and using these videos and killing people and raping people. That's a sad thing to say. But the fact that there are thousands of people, I don't even know the numbers, that are doing that and they're not murderers, I would hesitate in saying that this is what's causing that to happen. You're talking about mental illness, and mental illness can manifest in many different ways. It just so happened that it was murder here. I mean, and even watching his video, there was a lot more going on there than just someone who was addicted to video porn or to violent video games.
Now, one more thing I actually wanted to discuss is the fact that, you know, his father was the second unit assistant director on Hunger Games.
Yes.
And Hunger Games is this film which, you know, is, of course, the book series is widely popular across the globe, but, you know, the actual plot and the concept of the film is you have these kids put in a war where it's kill or be killed.
Yes.
So do you think the fact that his father takes place in, you know, has this important part and role in creating this film that's about kids killing each other, do you think that might have also had something to do with him thinking that, hey, I can do this too?
Well, I can't really say what was in his mind at the time. I can say that the fact that you have a father that made a movie and it had to do with killing is not the reason why a young person goes on a killing spree like this. If that was the case, then Stephen King's children are in really big trouble, because his movies and books are way out there as well. I think here again we're looking at a mental illness, and when it comes to mental illness, it's a free-for-all. Who knows what triggered him? Who knows how long he's been planning this? I mean, you know, what could have triggered him, I don't know. The fact as to whether his father was, you know, involved in Hunger Games, I would not say that that's why he did this.
So it was basically more so his mental illness, whatever he's dealt with in his past, with
Yes.
the people that he's dealt with, and it just kind of stuck with him and grew. It had less to deal with his environment or his father being this Hunger Games director.
Yeah, I think it had a lot more to do with the fact that he heard voices, which would indicate that he was schizophrenic. So we have no idea what was going on. He hadn't seen a psychiatrist, I believe, in 2 years. I mean, he should have been seeing a psychiatrist. He should have been monitored by a psychiatrist that could prescribe for him the correct drugs that maybe would have helped him to normal out. But, you know, and here again, I'm weighing in on something that I don't have all the facts. But again, we have somebody who is hearing voices that would tell me that he's schizophrenic. He had disconnected just listening to the way he thought he was superior to everyone else. You have a lot more going on here. The mental illness here is huge. I mean, we're talking sociopath. We're talking just not being able to connect with other humans.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.